Well, hello there. Uh, Today is April the 8th, a couple of weeks into the whole diagnosis thing here. So one of the things that happened after I did my bone marrow biopsy is that I've been on a bunch of forums and everything. And the one thing that they recommend is to get all of your dental work done and out of the way. So I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks or so. I need to say here that I have not been a fan of going to the dentist ever since I was 8 years old, and I've been avoiding it at every possible opportunity. Only going when basically I wasn't able to take the pain anymore, which is, as you can imagine, led to a number of complications. So I had a cleaning done last week, and it was apparently the worst thing that they had ever seen. It took me two different sessions on two consecutive days to get my cleaning done because they couldn't get them all done in one session. And I had another session with the doctor today who went through everything that I've got going on and gave me a treatment plan, which we're going to attempt to do over the next couple of weeks before I start the chemo for my lymphoma. Needless to say that one of the major pieces of dental work I had done about 10 or 11 years ago was a root canal on a tooth, which was absolutely killing me. And the doctor at that time told me, and basically filled it in for me with an emergency filling after he did the root canal and said, "You need to come back in a week for us to put a crown on this thing." And I said, "Sure, yeah, I'll come back in a week." And poor guy, he's a wonderful dentist, dear friend of mine. And I basically did not go back. And what's ended up happening now is that we've noticed that there might have been a little bit of something stuck in the root, which has led to, over the past 10 years, um, an infection right under my tooth, which I have an appointment to see an endodontist for. And apparently, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to make a slight incision right under the tooth and go in and take out the piece of bone and take out the root and take out basically all of the stuff which has accumulated there over the number of years that this has been going on, and then close me back up. Predominantly, we need to do this because once I start chemo and my immune system gets fried, essentially, any kind of bacteria that has the potential to, flare up from their dormant state is a problem. And I believe that's the reason why they wanted, or people were recommending, that all dental work be taken care of before we start chemo, is because, yeah, of the potential of different types of things that we would have if that wasn't done. So yeah, for a guy who's been basically running away from dentists for the past 30 years, I now have a number of extremely um, intimate dental appointments over the next 3 weeks. And yeah, the first one's going to be on the 14th, so basically a week from today. And yeah, so kind of not looking forward to that at all. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done, and then we're gonna look into other things. So once we get that sorted, a whole bunch of different fillings that need to be redone and removed and things like that. And then another interesting thing that I've got going on is that I've got one of my canines that never descended. This was thanks to the wonderful doctor I had when I was 8 years old, who put me off dentists literally for the rest of my life. And the reason why I have never willingly gone back to a dentist since. So, yeah, that's where we are today. In about a week, I'm going to start a series of very intense dental procedures, followed by a series of very intense chemotherapy procedures, followed by a series of very intense bone marrow procedures. Yeah, 2022 is gonna be quite interesting. Yeah, it's emotionally difficult. These are things that I don't necessarily want to do. Um, Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate getting up and going to these appointments. It's really, really difficult. It's really, really frustrating. Really takes all of my energy to prepare for these appointments. Um, Last week for the first cleaning I was supposed to go to, I got there and I realized that I had basically screwed up the times in my calendar, and I was there at 9 a.m. the day before my actual 9 a.m. appointment. So the amount of energy and preparation, mental preparation that it took for me to get there, I got home basically 15 minutes later and I was tapped. I was just completely drained of energy. And then the next day when I had to actually get up and go there and do this, I just it was the most difficult thing. And this is just for cleaning, nothing serious, nothing even remotely serious. And the thing, truth of the matter is, the procedures technically they don't bother me because there's no pain. Um, I'm fine with shots of all kinds. So if you want to stick a needle in me, go ahead. I have no problem with that. Um, so with all of that done, there's pretty much nothing that you can sense or feel. It's just knowing what's going on, I think, which bothers me more than anything else. And the next procedure, which is on April 14th, is going to be a 2.5 hour procedure. So I think that in itself is going to be exhausting as well. Not even going to talk about the costs because those are fun too. But we haven't even begun the journey yet, and I already feel exhausted. I wonder what it's going to be like in a couple of months. I 95% of the time I forget about the diagnosis and I forget about the lymphoma, and I'm just living my life normally like it was um, before the diagnosis, pretty much. And then certain things happen here and there, or suddenly being something comes into my mind and I say, oh, yeah, technically I'm a cancer patient. I'm going to be going through chemo. And again, this is something that I haven't come to grips yet because um, I've always heard it happen to other people. I've always seen it on TV or, with friends and relatives and things like that as well. But again, it's one of those things where you think that it can't possibly happen to me. But then it does. And then, your entire view changes. Yeah. That's pretty much where I am. But again, the truth of the matter is, like 95% of the time, I don't even I don't even I don't even acknowledge it. It doesn't even. It's not even a question. It's not even something that's on my mind. But you know, cancer isn't something that goes away. You might be lucky and be in remission for the rest of your life, but once you've had cancer, you've always had cancer. And I don't know why I thought that it wouldn't be an issue for me. I don't know what made me think that I was immune. I've always said that I believe that cancer is an inevitability, and um, yeah, here we are. So that's me after um, we laid out the plan for my first set of dental treatments, which is going to start happening next week. This is diary of the journey through all the stuff that goes on when I'm having, ever since the diagnosis of the MCL. Um, and I will keep coming to you with updates from time to time. Catch you on the other side.